So let's start in seated Sukhasana. And since we have the blanket or the towel, just fold it. So you fold it first in 4 and then 1 more to make it a little bit higher. And when you sit on the blanket, you cross your legs and you sit on it, and then you kind of roll to the edge of the blanket to get the knees maybe a little bit lower. Take your time. I'll be waiting for you here. Something to get your hips a little bit higher. It gives you more room to sit a little more comfortably here. Very good. Roll the shoulders back, soften the gaze or close your eyes, starting to get ready for your practice. Notice where your mind is, where your thoughts are. Try to let the mind slow down. Start to deepen your breath. Maybe hear your breath as you go. Relax the skin on your face, on the back of your ears, the back of your neck. Bring your attention to your belly and your chest and watch the movement there, the expansion and the release. The bigger the movement, the deeper the breath. Again, notice if your mind is wandering, try to slow down, let go. All these thoughts, you can come by to them later. Right now, right here, you are in this moment, in your practice, in your body with your breath. You can keep your eyes closed or the gaze soft and start with the right ear to the right shoulder and gently half a circle forward to come up from the other side. Breathe in as you lift and breathe out to the half circle forward. Make it gentle so we're not trying to strain the side of the neck. Make sure the shoulders are out of your ears and just keep going side to side. Add a little lift at the end here. We'll do 1 more on each side and notice the difference between the right side and the left side, which side of your neck is tighter. When you're ready, take your time, bring your chin to your chest. You're looking down, roll the shoulders back and slowly lift the gaze. Start rolling the shoulders up and back, down and forward. Deep breath in to lift and exhale down. If it feels good, if your back is nice and long, you can engage the elbows, exaggerating the opening here. Use your breath, hear your breath. Deep breath in and exhale, release it down. Very good. Bring the right hand behind you, left hand is on your knee, and rotate for the twist. It's your first twist, still waking up the muscles around the spine. Try to keep the length in your spine up and make the rotation from your ribs, from the shoulders. Your neck stays soft in line with your spine. Bring your attention to the left shoulder, the one with the hand on your knee, and widen the shoulder out like you're opening your wing out. Notice that stretch, opening the space on the side of the trap muscle and the back of the shoulder. And then bring your attention to the right shoulder and tuck the shoulder back towards the lower back as you lengthen. So the right shoulder reaches down, left arm wing is opening, left shoulder wing is opening out. Your neck is soft. And very, very slowly come back to the center to change sides. Left hand behind you, right hand is on your knee. Breathe in for length. With the breath out, rotate. Pause here. Notice the sensation in your spine, in your ribs. If you're flaring the ribs, draw them in. Find more length. And then notice the right shoulder, open the right shoulder wing out. The one with the hand on your knee if you're, in case, doing the opposite side of me. Left shoulder wraps back and down to help you lengthen. Neck is soft. You don't even have to look back. Your neck is an extension of your spine. One more time, open the right wing out. Left shoulder down and back. Deep breath in for length. And exhale, come back to the center. Hands are on your knees. Inhale, widen and lift the gaze. Arch your back, flare the ribs forward. And exhale, round your back. Tuck your chin really round here. 4 more times like that at your own pace. Notice here the muscles around the spine. That's what you're trying to open, to arch. And then you're also opening the front body. When you're arching, lengthen the front body. Lift the gaze if that's okay on the neck. And when you're rounding, really wrap the shoulders, not wrap the shoulders, tuck the shoulders forward. One more time. And I'll meet you back in neutral. Very good. Change legs just to make sure we're working on both sides here. And then bring the right hand next to you. The fingertips are down, left arm reaches up to the sky first, lengthening from the hip bone all the way up to the fingertips, and then bend with the arm over the ear. You can option to slide the right hand further out, or you can bend the elbow as long as the right shoulder is down away from your ear. Try to open the left shoulder. Gaze can be up. If this is creating tension on your neck, look down. And then bring the left sit bone down to really open the whole side body. Once you settle into the posture, find your deep breathing. Breathing from your nose, long, deep breaths. If you're looking up, look down to release the neck. Stay right where you are. Maybe lengthen the fingertips away from the sit bone a little bit more. One more breath in. With the breath out, release the upper shoulder down and then rotate to come up. Changing sides. Sorry, left hand next to you. Right arm reaches up, tuck the shoulders down. You can bend the left elbow or trickle the fingers away from you. Lift the right arm up toward the sky and then start bending deeper. Bring the arm over the ear. Anchor the right sit bone. Feel like you're creating space between the side ribs as you reach the fingertips away from the sit bone. And if you're collapsing into the left side, have an extra lift here, maybe trickle the fingers further out. Don't go too low that your right shoulder rotates down. You want the right shoulder to be open, wide. Deep breath in. Exhale, look down. Stay right where you are. Keep the length. Breathe in. And on your exhale, rotate the upper shoulder down towards the mat to come up and roll your way up. Very good. So we're coming to table, and here open the blanket or the towel. And just put it to cushion your knees here in the middle of your mat. Your knees are on the blanket, spread the fingers, and press up to protract the shoulders, extend the left leg, draw the ribs in. Notice the line of energy from the heel to the crown of the head. And then tuck the shoulder blades towards the lower back, creating that space in the side of the neck. Bring the left foot all the way to the right, gaze towards your foot. And then slowly lift the leg, bring it next to you, bend your knee, gaze towards your foot again. Let's get into some movement. Inhale to one side. Exhale to the other. Breathe into one side. Exhale to the other. Remember, you're following the gaze, following the foot. Keep the breath going side to side. If you want to get a little bit deeper, you can keep the leg extended, bring it next to you with the leg parallel to the floor, and then all the way to the other side. One more time. Breathe in. Breathe out. And then extend the leg again. Press up through the arms. Lift the leg with the heel reaching back. Bring the right arm in front of you, so it's the opposite side of the leg, and reach front and back with the crown of the head reaching forward. Heel reaches back. Then bend your knee. You can stay right here, lifting the knee up, or sweep the arm, catch your foot, pressing the foot into the hand, having an extra lift in the shoulder, in the left shoulder. Gaze can be to the front or to the side. Deep breath in for the lift. Stay here with your exhale. Breathe in to lift again. And exhale, release the leg and release your hand. Add a little sway here, side to side, maybe a sway in your neck and your hips. Opening the other side, press up. So I'm kind of calling the opposite side. I'll fix that after. Extend the right leg, flex your foot, the heel is reaching back. Press up through the arms, lengthen the sides of the neck, tuck the shoulders back, and then reach the right foot all the way to the left, gaze back, settle the foot down, pause here. Opening the waist on the right side of your hip. Lift the leg, bring the leg next to you, knee is bent, gaze towards the foot again. Notice here you have more weight on the left hand, it's okay, but keep lifting up, and we'll get into some movement. Inhale to the left, and exhale to the right. Gaze follows the foot side to side. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in. Yogi's choice, you can extend the leg. One more. Breathe in and breathe out. And when you're ready, come back to the center. Very good. The hips stay high. Walk the hands forward and forward even more, getting into puppy pose. Dip the chest, dip the forehead to rest down. You're lifting the hip up. And notice here, there's like an arch in the lower back. Think of it as a little back bend here. If there's any pinching in the shoulders, walk the hands closer towards you. If your neck feels 100% okay, the classical puppy is with your chin resting on the mat. And you can always slide the hands further forward to get the chest maybe on the mat. Wherever you are, you're able to deepen your breath. Anytime you feel pinching in the shoulders, walk the hands closer towards you. To come out, round your back, tuck your hips, tuck your chin, and very slowly walk the hands back all the way to seated with the shoulders back. Deep breath in and let it go. Sweep the arms back, interlace the fingers. And here, the hands are behind you. Try to get the heels of the hands to touch as much as you can. You're still bending the elbows. Heels of the hands are touching, the palms are as close as can be, and then the elbows are bent. You're kind of looking down, then pull the hands down as much as you can. Pull the shoulders down, wrap the shoulders back. Maybe lift the hands a little bit higher. Maybe you lift the gaze if that feels okay, keeping the heels of the hands close here. If there's a bend in the elbows, that works too. If this is hard on your knees, you can come up to kneeling. Either way, it works. Lengthen the front body, flare the ribs forward, maybe lift the gaze, breathe in. With the breath out, start leaning forward, lift your hips, lift the hands higher, and the forehead maybe can rest down, make it gentle, lift the hands a little bit higher, really getting into the shoulders here. Notice if the shoulders are collapsing down towards the ears, pull the shoulders back, tuck the shoulder blades to the lower back, and then lift the hands again. If the hands are numb, mine are starting to get numb. We'll have one more breath. And exhale, let it go. Release the hands down, let your shoulders round and drop and release. There's some weight on the forehead or the crown of the head. If there's this creating any tension on the neck, come up. If you're feeling okay, just pause here. One more breath, deep breath. Open your mouth, let it go. Slide the hands to frame your head and lift up. I'll meet you back in table. We have the other side. Extend the right leg back, flex your foot. Press up through the arm. Lift the left arm in front of you with the thumb up towards the ceiling, reaching front and back. Without collapsing into the right shoulder, keep the lift and bend your knee. Lift the knee a little bit higher. You can stay here or sweep the arm, catch your foot, press the foot into the hand. Gaze can be to the front or the side. Add an extra lift here. Try to find softness in your jaw, softness in your facial muscles. There's space between the right shoulder and the ear. With every inhale, lift the right leg higher, but keep the knee to the center column of your body. Deep breath in. Exhale very, very slowly. Let it go. Very good. Walk the hands back and come up into kneeling with the shoulders back. Tuck your toes. Your knees, so I will turn this way to face you. You still have the cushioning under your knees. The knees are right there under your hips. Shoulders are back. Hands are on your hips and lengthen the crown of the head up. Start leaning back, press the hips forward. Keep the thighs perpendicular to the floor. Hands are on your hips, kind of pressing the hips to the front and pulling the glutes down. Gaze can be forward if your neck is sensitive, or you can look up, still our first back bend today. You're working on length with the crown of the head reaching away from your knees. Deep breath in. Look forward and come back to the center. Now sweep the right hand towards your foot and lift the left arm up toward the sky. Keep pressing the hips forward, looking for the length, the crown of the head away, and then lean back. You can look to the right if that's more comfortable on your neck, and then breathe in. To come out, first look forward, bring the arm to the front and come to the front. Left hand reaches back, right arm up, press the hips forward and lean back. Gaze can be up or down or to the front. Remember, there's no compression in the lower back because you're reaching and lengthening up. Deep breath in. And exhale, slowly come back to the center. Very good. So have the hands on your hips and just sway your hips side to side. Maybe lean forward a little bit. We're coming with some movement into your camel. Pause here. Let's start. Right hand to the heel, just barely touching the fingertips down. Lift the left arm up, breathe in. To come out, rotate the arm to the front, going to the other side, left hand back, right arm reaches up, breathe in, press the hips forward. And exhale, down, inhale, other side. Exhale, down, inhale, other side. Barely the fingertips touching the heel. Exhale, let's do one more on each side. Breathe in, feel like it's your morning stretch, opening that whole space in the side body, and exhale. One more time, breathe in. And exhale, bring it down, very good. If you can, tuck your toes and sit back on your heels. If this is bothering your knees, you can have 1 or 2 blocks under your hips to sit back on them. Bring the hands to the thighs, shoulders are back. Notice the energy moving in your spine and the muscles around the spine. And then here, have a little rounding, barely any, just draw the ribs back, tuck your hips to the front, kind of get a release in the lower back. I'll turn this way so you guys can see me better. So instead of here, that arch, draw the ribs in and then tuck your hips forward. Find that length in the lower back, shoulders stay back. Deepen your breath. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. And exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe in. Breathe out. And slowly lift up into standing, into kneeling again. So here, anchor the left knee and extend the right leg. See how that feels. Bring the toes to face up. I find that easier on my knee, but if you want, you can rotate the foot fully down if that's more comfortable. On your inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, bring the hands to the heart. If you have a block, set it to the right, to the left side under your hand, and you can put it here and just reach the arm up. We're going to the side body again. Or if you want, just reach all the way down. If that's accessible, you can even spider finger the hands. And here, find that whole line of energy from the foot to the fingertips, opening the right shoulder, gazing up. Remember, your glutes are engaged. You're kind of squeezing your glute muscles here. Your neck is long. Try to stay light on the left hand, so don't collapse completely on the hand. Deep breath in. With your exhale, sweep the right arm up. It's helping you lift all the way up using your core. Right hand on the inside of your thigh and left arm over the ear, or you can slide the hand towards your shin, just not on your knee. Opening the other side body, really stretching and opening from the knee and the hip and the waist and the ribs and the armpit, all that area, reaching as far out as you can. Deep breath in and exhale. Come back to the center. Slowly bring your knee back and let's change sides. Extend the left leg in here. Remember, you can bring the toes up or the foot can come down. You'll kind of know which part in your knee feels a little bit weaker. So if you're rotating the foot down, you're putting more pressure on the inside of your knee. If the toe is up, then it's kind of on your full knee. Right hand reaches down. You can hover it at first. Lift the left arm up, or if you have a block, find it, or fingertips touch down or the hand fully. Reach up and then bring the arm over the ear. Find that line of energy in the whole side body, from the foot to the fingertips. Open the shoulder, gaze can be up or down. Today, our practice is a release of the stagnation in those body parts that we don't open much. So your work is to look for length, reaching in opposite direction, creating space on the inside of your body to get lighter. Very good. Look down. And then we're using the core. So engage your core, engage your glutes. Don't depend on your back. And sweep the left arm up to come up to the other side. Left hand on the inside of your knee, right arm over the ear. This could be your pose, or slide the hand towards your shin, just not on your knee. Try to stay light here on the hand. Don't Dump your weight on the hand and open the right shoulder, gaze up or look down. Deep breath in and exhale. Let it go. Very good. Slowly bring the leg back. Slowly move the blanket out of the way. Shoulders are back and lean forward. Have the hands come back into your table. Tuck your toes and lift your hips up into your downward facing dog. Your first downward dog. This should feel good after all the crazy openings in the side body and the arching. You can even bend your knees, reach the sit bones back. Maybe I like to add a little hip movement side to side while I'm bending my knees. You can try it with the legs straight. Just pulling one hip bone back at a time. Very small movement here. Notice your shoulders are wide. The shoulders are out of the ears. Your head is hanging and neutral. Gaze back. Deep breath in. And breathe out. If you're not familiar with your spinal rolls, you can come down to seated and watch me do it, and then we can do it again. In spinal rolls, we're working on the muscles around your spine, alongside your spine. So you start with lifting your heels up, you're rounding, tucking your hips, tucking your chin like you're in cat pose, and you lean to the front, shrugging the shoulders. As you come forward, you're in plank pose, lift the gaze in front of you. To come back, same thing. You lift, you round, and then you release the heels, lift the hips up. So think of like the lower back specifically, and then the upper back as well. Think of rounding and arching like your cat cow. I'll do it a little bit faster. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. So if you haven't started yet, you can do it with me. We're doing it 3 times, really strengthening the shoulders, opening the muscles around the spine. Inhale, lift the heels, round, tuck, lean forward, shoulders over the wrists, plank pose. Breathe in, straight back. Exhale, round, and then arch the lower back, lift your hips, release your heels down. 2 more. Breathe in. Exhale to plank. Breathe in. Exhale to downward dog. 1 more time, you got this. Breathe in. Exhale. Feel like it's a wave, that type of movement. You're engaging your thighs fully. Breathe in and then come back to your downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Exhale, step to the front of your mat. Find your forward fold. Bend your knees. Let the head hang. Relax your shoulders, your neck. Maybe even sway your head side to side. You can draw a fist in your hands if you're nice and balanced, and rotate your fists. Take a few breaths here. Notice if your knees are dipping in, the knees are right there over your ankles. On your next inhale, bring your hands to your shins, lengthen the sit bones back, crown of the head forward, wrap the shoulders back. Breathe in. And exhale, fold. Let's do the spinal rolls from here. So on your inhale, again, you're kind of rounding like a wave, lifting up into your flat back. Breathe in. Exhale, tuck and round, and then lengthen down, lifting your sit bones higher. Think of maybe not an arch, just a lift in the sit bones. Inhale, round, flat back. And exhale, tuck and round, and lengthen to look in front of you. 1 more, breathe in. And breathe out. And this time, bend your knees a lot. And on your inhale, ragdoll one vertebra at a time. All the way up, shoulders back, arms overhead. Take your time. And exhale, hands to your heart. Bring the toes to touch, heels are slightly apart. Interlace the 3 outer fingers, thumb and pointer stay up. Inhale, reach your arms up, anchor the feet down, really pressing and spreading the toes. And then bend to your left, open the whole right side body. Start to hear your breath, restrict the back of the throat, and just keep the ears here between your biceps as you reach up and away. Tuck your hips a little bit forward without rounding, and inhale, reach up, and exhale, other side. Without rounding the upper shoulder down, you're opening the shoulder. And then you're reaching the fingertips away. Biceps maybe closer to the ears. And inhale, lift up. Exhale, sweep the arms down and relax. Roll the shoulders a few times, sway your head a few times, relax that area. And inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, swan dive down, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, bend your knees, anchor the hands, step back to your downward facing dog. We're doing 3 spinal rolls together, really working on strengthening the shoulders to get us easier into our vinyasa. Breathe in. With the breath out, lift the heels, round the back, lean forward, find your plank pose. You might need to step the feet a little bit further back, engage your thighs, tighten the inner thighs to the midline in your plank. Breathe in, gaze forward. Exhale, round, tuck, lift the heels, and then release the heels. Have a little arch, lifting the sit bones up and gaze back. 2 more. Breathe in. Pause and exhale. Engage your thighs, lifting the front of the thighs up to the sky. Hips are low. Breathe in. Exhale, lift, round, and find your downward dog. We have 1 more. You got this. Spread your fingers. Your hands are your anchor. Breathe in. Exhale, wave. Breathe in. And exhale, another wave coming to your downward facing dog. Toes are in the center of your mat. On your inhale, lift the left leg, lift the left leg up. With your exhale, step your foot between your hands. You're in low lunge. If you have the blocks, you can set them under the hands or the fingertips are down. Back leg strong and tight. The heel is reaching back. You're lifting the front of the knee up towards the sky. Try to stay light on your hands. Try to lift the ribs and wrap the shoulders back and towards the lower back and around the spine. Breathe with it. Deep breath in. On your exhale, let it go. Very good. From here, anchor the left hand, and if you have, or actually find your blanket to find cushioning under the back knee, because we're going to stay in the low lunge for a while. Release the back knee, and notice the front heel is under your knee. Your knee is not passing your heel. Start lowering your hips. And if you're up high here with the thigh, the back thigh perpendicular to the floor, you can carry your foot or heel toe it forward even more to kind of lower your hips. If you have blocks, great, use them. The top of the back foot is down, and just try to find the release here, the opening in your hip. Try not to dump your weight on the hands. You can even draw a fist in your hands and bring them down. If you have those blocks that bring the earth a little bit higher, that's great. Here you're looking for the release in the hip flexors specifically, in the right hip flexors. Keep the right hand where it is. And on your inhale, sweep the left arm all the way up and back towards towards the back wall. From the side of the eye, gaze back towards your thumb. Again, you're not collapsing into the right shoulder. Keep the lift here. Try to stay light on your hand. Once you settle, wrap the arm behind your back, flare the left knee slightly out to get even deeper into the hips, into the hip flexors. Deepen your breath. If it's in your practice to get deeper, only if you can come down to the right forearm. You don't have to do it. If it's in your practice, whether you're on the forearm or the hand, maybe you catch the foot. So you can be on the forearm and do it, or you can be on the hand and do it, pulling the foot closer, getting deeper into the quadriceps, still opening hip flexors, opening hip. Don't overdo it here. So get to a space where you really feel the deep stretch. But look for a release, breathing towards muscles you're flexing, you're holding on to. Even if you're not catching the foot. If you're catching, release and inhale, open the shoulders, sweep the arm all the way up, bring the hand to frame the foot, and just walk your way back. Let's give the hip flexors a little release here. Extend the front leg. Extend the tailbone. Shoulders are back and down. Deep breath in. And exhale to fold. You can even walk the hands to the front if that feels okay. Yogi's choice, you can walk the hands outside of the straight leg, pulling the right hip back, getting really deep into the side body again. So I don't know if you can hear my breath, but I'm breathing Ujjayi breath. Ujjayi breath is when you restrict the back of the throat, like you're fogging a mirror, but with the mouth closed. It's kind of a calming breath. It's a heat releasing breath, and it lets your muscles release gently and naturally. The hands are framing your foot again. Come back to the center and lean your way to the front. Getting back into your low lunge. Yogi's choice, if you feel a lot of pressure in the knee, in the back, tuck the back toes and lift the knee and stay here, working on strength. If you feel okay, bring both hands on the inside of your foot. Heel toe the right foot just a couple of inches out. Release the hips a little bit lower. You can stay here on the hands, on blocks or the earth, or come down to the left forearm, just leaning to the left forearm, and the right hand can be on your knee. Or both forearms are down, if that's okay for you today. The top of the back foot is down to give you more of a release feeling. Scan your body. Your neck is soft, your shoulders soft, your jaw is also soft. Notice what muscles are you still holding on to? What can you let go of? Very slowly come up on your hands again. Both hands are on the inside of your foot. Tuck the back toes, lift the knee up, and then release the heel back slowly down and walk your way to the center. So you're walking your way to the center, bending. I'm bending the left knee, extending the right leg, going into Skandasana. Again, you can carry the blocks with you under the hands, staying even higher if you'd like, or lower. Keep the blanket where it is. We're still coming back to it. You can even lower down, lifting the right toes up, have the left arm on the inside of your thigh, trying to keep the left foot fully down, opening the inner thighs here. Look for a release in the inner thighs and the back of your thigh. And the tailbone is long. The right shoulder is open. Deep breath in. On your exhale, use your left hand to help you press up, come back to the center. Hands are under the chest, rotate the toes in, heels are out. Notice the width of your stance. You can go wider or narrower, and your feet are exactly on the same line if you look at them. Walk the hands forward, sit bones back, passing your heels. Dip the chest down, have the head peeking between your arms, back. And notice here, if you feel rounding in your back, tucking your hips, let the knees bend, and then reach the sit bones back to pass your heels. That'll give you more of a release than you trying to keep the legs straight and rounding. That will just create more tension there. The release, you want to try to open the glute area, lengthen the tailbone. Find your deep breaths. Few more breaths. Walk the hands back under your chest, bend your knees, heel toward the feet a little bit closer so you're more in control. Hands are on your hips. Let the inhale carry you all the way up. And exhale, let it go. Heel toward the feet closer with control. Step to the front of your mat. Keep the blanket there. We're going to need it. So be mindful of where your blanket is. And inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, swan dive down, forward fold. Maybe the hands are behind the calves or the ankles this time, pulling the crown of the head a little bit lower, lifting the hips a little bit higher. Let your head hang so there's no wrinkles in the back of your neck. And on your inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bend your knees, anchor the hands, look at the blanket and step all the way back behind the blanket to find your downward facing dog. Ready for our spinal rolls. Spread your fingers, your hands are your anchors. You're engaging your thighs, the whole muscle, squeezing the thigh muscles around the bones. Breathe in. With the breath out, round, lift the heels, lean forward, find your plank pose. You might need to step the feet further back. Breathe in, gaze to the front. Exhale, round and reach up. Have a little arch in the back, lift the sit bone. So if this is enough, stay with this. Or if you want to add a back bend, you can add a back bend with me. Breathe in. Exhale, round. Lean forward. Maybe you lift the gaze, keep the toes tucked, and just lower the hips a little bit. Lift the gaze a little bit into your back bend. Breathe in. Exhale, round, tuck, lift, and release your heels lower. One more time, breathe in. Exhale, wave. Inhale, lift. At your pace, exhale, we all meet in downward facing dog. On your next inhale, lift the right leg up. And with your exhale, step your foot between your hands. You're in low lunge. Fingertips are down, shoulders are back. Tighten the hips to the midline, pulling the right hip crease back. Notice the back leg is strong and firm. If you want the blocks under the hands, find them. Spread the front toes, your toes are soft. And lift the ribs up. There is no tension in your neck or the shoulders. Deep breath in. On your exhale, release the back knee down. So fix the blanket under your knee here, and then you might need to heel toe the front foot forward so you can kind of lower your hips a little bit more. Give yourself more space for the hip flexors. The top of the back foot is down. If you feel you want more cushioning under your knee, you can double fold again. Anchor the right hand. On your inhale, sweep Sorry, anchor the left hand on your inhale, sweep the right arm all the way up and back, gazing back from the side of the eye. Try to stay light on the left hand. And then simply wrap the arm behind your back. Maybe you flare the knees slightly out, but if you feel tightness in your hamstring here, don't do it. This could be your pose on a block or the earth. You can draw a fist in your hands, or maybe you can lower to the forearm. Remember to listen to your body. So you're not in a space where you're shaking and forcing. You're in a space of a release. So you're challenging yourself, but not too much where you're building resistance. Maybe you bend your knee, find your foot, whether you're on your forearm or your hand. If you're catching the foot and your weight is all on the kneecap, don't catch your foot. Let your hip flexors release, and one day you'll get there. Very slowly release the foot. Inhale, sweep the arm up and bring the hands to frame your foot. If the foot went all the way out, bring it a little bit closer. So come back to your alignment here with your hips and just walk your way back, extending the right leg. Start with the hands under the shoulders. Breathe in, add an extra lift here. And exhale, fold. Notice if you've been lifting your head a lot here, maybe there is tension in the back of your neck. Allow your head to kind of release here. You can even add a little sway side to side. A deeper stretch would be walking the hands to the front if that feels okay. If you feel tension on your knee, allow a micro bend in your knee in this stretch. Always give yourself permission to a little modification. You can stay here or walk the hands outside of the straight leg. If you're outside of the straight leg, you're outside to the right, you're pulling the left hip crease back. Trying to lift the sit bones back and up. If you're to the side, come back to the center. Bring the hands under the shoulders and walk your way to the front into your lunge again. So if you feel pressure on the back knee, you can tuck the toes. If that doesn't work, you can lift your knee, working on strength. Otherwise, heel toe the foot a couple of inches out and bring both hands on the inside of your foot. This could be your pose, getting deeper into lizard pose. Stay on your arms, or maybe only on the left arm, with the right hand on your right knee, softening your neck, or both arms can be down. Look for muscles that you're still holding on to, and anytime you need a break, find a break and come back. Few more breaths here. If you're rounding to look back, try to gaze to the front. Very slowly press with your hands. Come up and heel toe the foot closer. Tuck your back toes, lift the back knee, and very gently, very slowly pivot the back heel down. Start walking your way to the left. You're rotating the right toes inward. And then bring the hands under the shoulders. Try to flatten the back. You can stay here, or you can be on your thigh. If you want to get deeper, you can lower your hips with the arm on the inside of your leg. Maybe the right heel can be fully down, lifting the toes, but you don't have to lower that much. We're just working on the inner thighs, looking for softness in the shoulders and the jaw. Looking for the opening in the inner thighs and the back of your thighs, even the hip area. Skandasana is one of my favorites. It's not easy to get into, but slowly but surely you will. Deep breath in. With your exhale, anchor the hands. Use your hand to push you up and then come back to the center. Look at your feet. The toes are inward. The heels are slightly out. Legs can be straight or both bent equally. Hands are under the chest here. And the feet are exactly on the same line. You don't have one foot in front of the other. Deep breath in. On your exhale, fold. So the hands are framing the head here. Let the head hang down. If you want to get wider, you can, but if your head is touching the earth, then bring the feet a little bit closer. You're trying to untuck your hips, and we have many variations here. You can walk the hands back. Or you can catch your ankles if you'd like. Just keep working on untucking your hips, your head hanging, and breathe with it. Very good. Anchor the hands and have a halfway lift here. So the hands are under the chest. If you're close to the blanket, move it out of the way. And then heel toe the feet slowly closer and closer and closer. Hands are on your hips. Bend your knees a lot and inhale, rise up. Exhale, let it go. Let's get into triangle. Rotate the left toes to the side of the mat. Right toes are inward. You have heel to arch alignment, and you decide how long your stance is. The longer, the harder on your hips. So you decide. Both legs are straight, but you can allow a micro bend in the left knee. And if you want, you can have a block next to the left foot. Arms are parallel to the floor. Shoulders are down, and start leaning to the left. Bump the right hip up and back towards the back wall. And then just cartwheel, left hand down, right hand up. You'll start really high. You want to maintain the length and the sides of the torso. And then maybe you lower. If you can keep bumping the hips up, really exaggerating that movement to open the back of your thigh, your glute. And you can look down or up. Try to have the left hand on your hip here. You're kind of pulling the femur bone or the hip towards the right. Remember, you can allow a micro bend in the left knee. Gaze can be up or down. Stay right where you are and wrap the right arm behind you, but keep stacking the right shoulder over the left. Stay right where you are and just look down. Give your neck a release. Notice the foot, the inside edge of the foot is not lifting. They're both sides of your feet are pressing down. Of course, the arch is lifting. Spread your toes and soften. And then bend the left knee and inhale, press up and exhale, release. Rotate. Right toes to the other side, left toes inward. Arms parallel to the floor, lean to the right. Bump the hips out. So once you bump the hips out, this is where you feel the opening on the inner thigh and the back of your thigh. Bump the hips even more and just cartwheel the hands at first and then lower. Pause, lift the hip even more and then lower. So once you lift the hip, notice the hip bone rotates down and that gives you more space to lengthen the sides of the torso. So it's like a twist, rotating the upper hip down and opening the lungs up. I know too many details in this posture, but you can completely ignore me if you want. Spread your toes, soften your toes, your face. Remember, you can allow a micro bend in your knee. Wrap the left arm behind you, open and stack the shoulders still. Remember, you can always lift. Try not to lean forward, even though the hip is rotating forward. You're opening the heart, wrapping the shoulder, the left shoulder back. And then look down to get the release in your neck. Notice your foot. You're not rotating to the outside edge. And then bend your knee and inhale, rise up out of triangle. Exhale, heel toe the feet slowly and come to the center of your mat. Triangle is one of my favorite openings if you do it right. Lift the toes and press them down. Inhale, arms are up. And exhale, swan dive down, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, bend your knees, anchor the hands, step back to your plank. We're going to our spinal rolls. So your downward dog, we're back to our downward dog. Your downward dog is long here, longer than usual. Deep breath in. And you can spinal roll, or if your shoulders are starting to get sore, you can just lean forward into plank. That's also strengthening. Readjust your feet. Maybe the feet are a little bit wider. Breathe in. And exhale, lift the back and stay flat or round. Release the heels closer. Breathe in. Exhale to plank, or if you want to work on that back bend, you can slowly lift. If you're doing it, engage your thighs, your glutes, tighten everything to the midline. Breathe in. And exhale with a flat back or round downward dog. Breathe in. And exhale. Breathe in. And last one. Come back to your downward facing dog. Deep breath in. On your exhale, release your knees down. Very slowly swing your legs. And come to seated. So we'll start with the legs wide here, as wide as can be. Again, your feet are on the same line. Flex your feet, hands are behind you. Wiggle your sit bones to anchor the sit bones. Let me move this out of the way. Deep breath in, keep the hands behind you, wrap the shoulders back. With your exhale, the toes are towards your ears. Start leaning forward. Hands are still back to maintain that length in your spine. Notice right away, you might have tucked your hips, tightened the area in the lower back. You want to untuck. So bring your attention to the tailbone, lengthen the tailbone, untuck your hips, like you're trying to lift the sit bones, but you're not actually lifting. Once you're there, hands are in front of you. This could be your pose, or maybe you come down to the forearms if that's in your practice. You can close your eyes or soften the gaze. I'll guide you through the breath. So you're in a space of a challenge, but it's not too difficult. You can stay here for minutes, let's say. If there's any tension on your knees, you can roll. I don't know if you have small towels, but if you have 2 blankets, you can set them under the knees, or if one knee is specifically injured, you can have that cushioning under your knee. If you feel tension there, it'll be a lot of help. Let me count you through the breath. Empty the breath fully out. And inhale for 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you're flexing your feet, release that and keep the breath going, counting to 4 on your inhales and 4 on your exhales. You've been here for a while. Notice if the tailbone is kind of long and the glutes are softer. Maybe you can come a little bit deeper or not. Keep your soft, gentle breath. That's what's giving you the release in this posture. Those soft, gentle breaths are what will allow your muscles to open to release, not getting deeper by force. On your next inhale, very slowly, use your hands under your chest. Use your hands to lift you up. Don't depend on your back. And exhale, let it go. So you can bring the legs a little bit closer or keep them wide if you're comfortable with that. And just rotate towards the left leg. Rotating the shoulders towards the left leg, getting somewhat of a twist here. If this doesn't feel right, if it doesn't feel good, you can bring the right foot towards your thigh. So it's a feel-good posture, somewhat of an opening. If you feel rounding, try to lengthen and just twist towards this left leg. Yogi's choice, stay right here. This could be enough work, or have the right hand on the outside of your thigh or your knee. Keep the length. Maybe you slide the right hand outside of the calf as you lean forward. You're gonna feel a lot of tension in the muscle on the right side of your spine, and that's what we're aiming for. We're aiming to lengthen that muscle. There's a lot of stagnation around the muscle there, so you want to open and lengthen. But if you're rounding to reach down, we're not going lower, we're going longer forward. Left hand is there to support you. It can be on a block or the earth as you open and lift. Left hand maybe lifts the left shoulder to rotate the right shoulder a little bit deeper. Take care of yourself. Remember, you can be up here and this can be your work. You're maintaining the length in your spine or forward. I don't know if you feel it, but we're looking. Bring your attention to the muscle on the right side of your spine, along your spine. If there's rounding there, try to lift the sternum to the front if you can. And very slowly release the hand. Now the hands are both framing the leg. Very slowly rotate to the center and come back here. Just wiggle your way, see how that feels, and let's change sides. From here, both legs can be straight or you can bend the left knee. Rotate the shoulders towards the right leg. Hands are framing the leg. Start here, looking for length. I know there's a lot of rounding in that, specifically that part of the muscle in the middle of the back. So try to lengthen as much as you can. Keep the rotation, keep the twist. Left hand to the outside of your thigh. Start here. Right hand is helping you rotate and twist and lengthen, pressing up to lengthen the crown of the head up. And then slide the left hand down the leg, maybe to the knee. This could be your posture. This is a lot of work here. Or maybe you can slide it further front. Bring the right hand closer to the front if you are. Twisting here, using the right hand to twist you even deeper, using the left hand as leverage to twist. Try to maintain the length in your spine. If you're shrugging the shoulders up to the ears to get lower, that's not what we're trying to do. Very good. Release both hands, frame the leg, and very, very slowly walk your way to the center to come up. Very good. Add any wiggling here, a little bit of movement in your spine to kind of release tension there and bring your legs closer. So from here, I'll keep facing you, but try to have the hands on your mat if they're not on the mat. Let me actually look this way so you can see me better. The hands are behind you, and then bring the fingers to point forward unless your wrists are sensitive. If your wrists are sensitive, just keep the hands back. And you can stay here. We want to counter pose. So you're wrapping the shoulders, really lifting the sternum up towards the sky. Gaze can be to the front or up. Create that space in the sides of the neck as you lift up as much as you can. You can stay here and just lift, breathe in, and exhale, release and round, and lift, breathe in, exhale, release and round. If your shoulders are feeling 100% okay, when you lift, maybe the hips lift as well. If you'd like to add some movement, inhale, lift, and exhale halfway down. Breathe in to lift. Take care of your shoulders. If this doesn't feel good on the shoulders, do the first variation. It's wonderful. Breathe in. Breathe out. It also works if you want to stay near static, reverse table, feeling the stretch. And when you're ready, very slowly come back down. And we meet where we started. Breathe in. And exhale, release, and let it go. You can rotate the wrist a few times if you felt it. Working on fire log. So bring the blanket or the towel again, and you want to get the hips higher. So you want that fold that extra little fold to get the hips just a few inches higher up. It gives you more space here. I'll mirror you in this part. Bring the right leg down, and let's start with catching the left foot. Interlace the fingers around the foot and press the foot into the hand and lift the leg higher up. Wrap the shoulders back and breathe. Notice if there's rounding in your back, shrugging in the shoulder, try to lift. If that's not happening, keep the bend in your knee. That should help you. If you're high up and you're able to lengthen the spine, bring the leg a little bit higher. Stay right where you are and have the left hand catch the foot, right hand is down to keep the length in your spine, and then just sway the leg side to side. Starting to open the hip. And then from there, you can bend the knee and create or draw circles with your heel. If you feel like you're gonna fall and you're not balanced, you can extend the right leg as well, that works. Very good. And slowly start bringing the heel a little bit closer towards you. So work towards that. You can even catch the knee and the heel and just sway side to side. Or you can bring the forearms under your shin, flex your foot and bring the foot a little bit closer. Your back will fight you to round. Try to keep the length up. So if you're here and you're already feeling it in the knee because of a knee injury, don't do this one. It will be really hard on your knee. You can lay back. You guys stay where you are unless you want to modify. Lay back, find your figure four, lifting your leg up. Otherwise, you're right here with me. Breathe with it, soften with it. Deep inhale. And with your exhale, slowly release. Bring the foot down. Start with the knee bent and then catch the other foot. Press the foot into the hand. Knee can be bent or straight, reaching the leg up. If you're not comfortable on the towel, you can move it away. But that height a little bit gives you more space to kind of lengthen the spine more. Right hand catches the foot, left hand is next to you, and you can sway the leg side to side a few times, starting to open the inner thighs and the hip. Then bend your knee, draw circles. You can extend the left leg if you want. And just bring the heel a little bit closer. This could be your pose. If you want to get deeper, you can have the shins under, the forearms under the shin. Flex your foot to help your knee out. Breathe with it. Your long, deep breath is what gives you the release here. Very slowly let go. Cross your legs at first. Let's do a counter pose. Bring the hands behind you and arch the back. Fingertips touch down. Lift the gaze. Really arch the back. Bring the sternum to the front and breathe. Gaze can be forward or up. Deep breath in. Exhale, round. Bring the arms in front of you. Press the hands to the front. And arch one more time. Breathe and open. And exhale, release. All right, let's go to fire log. Left leg is in front of you. Try to have the knee not too wide out, like you're preparing to cross the leg, but the shin is far a little bit from you, parallel to the side of the mat. And if you're on the blanket, kind of roll your way forward where just part of your glute is on the blanket. And then bring the right foot above your thigh or above the ankle. And if your leg is really high here, that's okay. Anchor the hands, wiggle your way. You're not trying to lower your knee. It will lower naturally at its own pace. If you have a block, you can also set it under this thigh. And deepen the breath here. Try to use your hands to kind of lengthen up. And once you're settled, just sit here and breathe. Allow the opening in your hips. If you were in figure 4, because this could be hard on your knees, you can come up if you did both sides and do your butterfly, which is feet together and just lean forward. Come back to your 4-count breath. The more you lengthen your spine, the wider the hips. Very good. Slowly, with the help of your hands, release your legs. Extend the legs in front of you. Flex your feet. Feet are about 2 inches apart. Inhale, reach the arms up. And with your exhale, fold. Hands can frame the legs or catch your foot, ankle, shin. Draw the shoulders back. And with every inhale, reach the sit bones back, crown of the head forward. And with exhale, fold. Notice if you engage your thigh muscles, hugging the muscles, lifting the kneecaps up, pressing the hamstrings down. Maybe that gives you more space in your hamstrings. Keep the fold, keep the length, and just lift the gaze, lift the shoulders halfway. Breathe in and exhale, lengthen forward and lean down again. And inhale, reach all the way up. Exhale, let it go. Let's change sides. Bring the right leg in front of you. Flex your foot. Flexing your foot will help your knee. And then bring the left ankle or foot above your thigh. Wiggle your way. The knee will start really high at first if you want the block, or even you can roll the blanket if you took it off of under you. You can roll the blanket and put it here under your thigh. It kind of helps to have that support, gives you more of a release where your muscles will let go even more. Once you're there, you can have the palms facing up or facing down. You can have the hands on the inside into a mudra in your lap. The more you lengthen, the more you lean back, the wider the hips, the bigger the release. I'll count you through the breath. Empty the breath fully out. And inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. And exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, 3, 2, 1. One more at your own pace. And let it go. With the help of your hands, release your legs as slowly as can be. You can extend the legs, hands behind you, windshield wiper the legs, or point and flex if that feels okay. And you can also rub your thighs. And when you're ready, come to the center of your mat. We're coming all the way down on the back. We'll do a twist and then I'll give you your Shavasana. Coming all the way to your back. Lift the legs for the shins to be parallel to the floor. And then release the legs to the left. Cactus the arms, gaze to the right, if that feels okay on the neck. And notice here, you want the right shoulder, the back of the right shoulder to stay down, and then you're lifting the right leg higher and kind of forward more. You can even extend the leg if that feels okay. If this doesn't feel okay and you have to work to get into this twist, just extend the lower leg and the upper leg. Find your way here into softness. Breathe with it. Notice your belly blowing like a balloon and releasing with your breath. Try to make your exhales a little bit longer. Empty the breath fully out on every exhale. With your inhale, you're creating space in the belly, in the chest, in the body. And with every exhale, you are finding a release. You're letting go as much as you can of every muscle, every thought. As slow as can be, bring the hips and the legs back to the center. Realign your hips with the shoulders. You can keep the arms cactus, but if your hands are starting to get numb, you can bring the hands a little bit lower or extend them next to you. The shins parallel to the floor and lower the legs all the way to the opposite side. Gaze to the opposite side of your knees. Again, the arms are straight next to you or cactus. I like to pull my upper hip kind of further out and try to keep the opposite shoulder, my left shoulder here, down. You can extend the upper leg, maybe even the lower leg, depending on what you need here. You'll know, your body will tell you. Come back to your deep breaths. You can close your eyes at this point or soften the gaze if that's more comfortable. Few more breaths. As slow as can be, start lifting the legs up, coming back to the center. Center your hips. If your lower back is sensitive, knock the knees together and the feet out. You can stay here. The arms are about 45 or 60 degrees outside of your body. Palms face the sky. If your back feels okay, you can extend the legs. Wiggle your shoulders, widen the shoulders, and wiggle your hips until you settle into your last posture, into your Shavasana. Allowing your feet to drop to the sides and your fingers to curl. Relax your jaw. Soften the root of your tongue. The inside of your cheeks. Your throat. Notice where your mind is. If it's starting to get into what's coming next, try to stay right here. Following your breath. Bring your attention to the tip of the nose and just follow the sensation of your breath. Starting to scan your body, your shoulders and your neck. The right arm, the right forearm, your right hand and your fingers. Your left arm, left forearm, your left hand and your fingers. Bring your attention to your chest, to the space around your heart. Notice the movement there with your breath. Feel your ribs, your belly, the skin on your back, areas touching your mat and areas lifting. Feel your hips heavy, your legs rolling out, back of your knees probably lifting or bent. Feel your calves and your shins, the top of your foot, the bottom of your feet, and your toes. Your whole body is in complete surrender. Gently turn your head side to side. Bend your elbows, rotate your wrists. As gentle as can be, roll to your side into fetal position. With as little movement as possible, press with the upper hand to come up into seated Sukhasana, crossing your legs. On your inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Keep your hands right here and breathe in. Hold at the top of your breath. Open your mouth, let it go. One more clearing breath. Breathe in. One more sip and hold. And out with a sigh. Thank you so much for choosing yoga, for sharing your time with me. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. Great job today. Thank you.